Stop what you are doing. Do not scroll past this. Do not minimize this moment. This is not a suggestion. This is a summons. You did not find this by chance. This is not the algorithm guessing your interests. This is a divine appointment. Heaven intercepted your timeline on purpose. Right now, this very second, the gavel has already fallen. The trial is already over, and your name was just read aloud in the court. Within the next 24 hours, a massive financial surprise will find you. Not because you forced it, not because you figured something out, but because a verdict has been rendered in your favor. Hear this clearly. You are not watching this message early. You are not watching it late. You are watching it on time. The court is in session no longer. Judgment has been issued, and now enforcement begins. For months, some of you for years, you have carried a weight that never showed on your face but crushed you at night. Sleeplessness, tightness in your chest, running numbers in your head that never seemed to work. Bills multiplying faster than income, promises that felt delayed, effort that felt invisible, betrayal that left you questioning your own discernment. You kept asking yourself, what did I do wrong? You replayed conversations, decisions, seasons. But today, the court answers that question. This was not mismanagement. This was not lack of faith. This was not punishment. This was theft. John chapter 10:10 establishes jurisdiction. The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. Not suggest, not attempt, steal. And Proverbs 6:31 provides the remedy. If the thief is found, he must restore sevenfold, even if it costs him all the substance of his house. That is not poetry. That is statute. The enemy did not just delay you. He interfered. He manipulated timing. He blocked transfers. He rerouted opportunities. He leveraged confusion and exhaustion, hoping you would abandon the claim. But you didn't. Even when you were tired, you didn't quit. Even when you were discouraged, you didn't walk away. Even when you didn't understand, you stayed. That alone kept your case active. Psalm 56:8 declares that every tear you cried was recorded. Tears are evidence. Evidence demands review, and review demands judgment. This is why the pressure intensified recently. Why everything felt urgent all at once. Why expenses stacked. Why people disappeared. Why help seemed silent. Final arguments were being made, and now the judge has ruled. Summary judgment. No appeal, no retrial. Double jeopardy applies. The enemy cannot reopen what God has closed. The verdict includes restitution, compensation, and punitive damages. Restitution for what was stolen. Compensation for what was delayed. Punitive damages for the stress, the shame, and the strain. This is why the timeline is compressed, within 24 hours. Not symbolic time, literal time. Because Amos 9:13 governs acceleration. The plowman shall overtake the reaper. That means harvest collides with preparation. You don't wait anymore. It finds you. This surprise may not arrive the way you expect. It may come through a person who once overlooked you, a system that once denied you, an account you forgot about, a door you thought was closed permanently. Do not argue with the method. Authority chose the route. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says God makes everything beautiful in its time. That includes timing you didn't understand while you were inside it. What is coming is not just money. It is relief. It is margin. It is breath returning to your lungs. But hear this with precision. God is not just paying you, He is positioning you. Deuteronomy 8:18 confirms it. He gives you power to get wealth to establish covenant. Wealth here is not indulgence, it is assignment. You are being prepared as a kingdom financier, someone whose resources solve problems, someone whose overflow funds purpose, someone whose stability becomes shelter for others. That is why this season tested your character before it released your capacity. Public vindication follows private endurance. Psalm 23 is not metaphorical. A table prepared in the presence of enemies means witnesses are required. Those who doubted you, those who dismissed you, those who benefited from your delay. They will see the outcome, not so you can boast, so the court can be honored. Now listen closely. When the surprise manifests, and it will do not panic. Panic is old programming. Calm is evidence of trust. Isaiah 26:3 governs peace during increase. Do not rush to explain it. Do not feel obligated to justify it. Do not shrink it to make others comfortable. This is enforcement. Some of you will receive a deposit, some a clearance of debt, some an approval long denied, some a reversal, some a connection that unlocks more than money within 24 hours. The natural realm says recession, rising costs, uncertainty. The spiritual realm says storehouses open, release authorized, transfer initiated. Heaven does not follow economic forecasts. Now the transaction must be sealed. This is not engagement. This is agreement. Wherever you are, align your spirit and repeat this silently or aloud. I agree with the verdict. I receive restitution. I accept the settlement prepared for me. I release fear, guilt, and delay. I step into provision, wisdom, and authority. What was stolen is restored sevenfold. What was delayed is accelerated. I receive my settlement now. Let that settle. And now to sign for it, type these words in the comments. I receive my settlement. That is not a comment. That is your signature on the decree. If this message resonates, subscribe not for content, but for positioning. This channel is a gathering place for those who win cases they didn't even know were being tried. One final instruction issued as protection. Once the blessing manifests, distraction may attempt to enter. Not to stop the blessing, but to dilute it. Stay alert. There is a follow-up word prepared to secure what is released. Now receive this final prayer as enforcement. By the authority of the highest court, every frozen account is unlocked. Every withheld payment is released. Every stolen opportunity is returned with interest. Debts are dissolved. Shame is evicted. Confusion loses jurisdiction. Let favor locate you within 24 hours. Let resources obey divine command. Let wisdom govern every increase. This case is closed. The verdict is final. The surprise is already moving. Amen. Continue, stay present, because enforcement does not end at announcement. Enforcement continues until full possession is complete. There will be a moment very soon when your mind tries to ask, is this real? That question is residue from a season of delay. Do not entertain it. 2 Corinthians 5:7 governs your response. You walk by faith, not by sight. Sight always arrives after faith authorizes it. The enemy's final tactic is hesitation, not attack. Hesitation, to make you pause long enough for doubt to speak. But doubt has no standing in this court. Its objection has already been overruled. When the surprise reaches, you move deliberately, not impulsively. Wisdom is now paired with provision. James chapter 1 verse 5 guarantees wisdom without reproach. You are not guessing anymore. You are guided. Some of you will feel an immediate urge to fix everything at once. Resist that pressure. Acceleration does not mean chaos. God is a God of order. 1 Corinthians 14:40 remains in effect. Let all things be done decently and in order. Order preserves increase. This is also the moment where time begins to compress in your favor. Joel 2:25 is not symbolic. Lost years are being repaid. Not slowly, not partially, fully. Efficiency will replace exhaustion. Momentum will replace struggle. Watch how quickly things begin to align after this moment. Conversations, timing, access. It will feel as though resistance has suddenly vanished. That is not luck. Resistance has been legally removed. If guilt tries to surface telling you that you don't deserve ease, silence it immediately. Romans 8:1 declares no condemnation. Ease is not laziness. Ease is alignment. You may notice that your appetite for certain things changes. Less tolerance for drama. Less patience for confusion. More clarity. More decisiveness. That is the mark of jurisdiction shifting. You are no longer surviving. You are governing. Resources will now respond to you differently. Money responds to authority. Authority responds to obedience. Obedience responds to hearing. And hearing has been sharpened in you through trial. Do not fear visibility. Public vindication is part of the judgment. Matthew 5:14 confirms it. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Your increase will be noticeable. Let it be. God defends what he displays. This season also carries responsibility, not burden responsibility. You will be trusted with more because you proved faithful with less. Luke 16:10 stands as evidence. Faithfulness was already established in obscurity. Continue to speak life over your finances. Words still govern outcomes. Proverbs 18:21 remains binding. Speak order, speak abundance, speak clarity, speak restraint when necessary. And when you rest tonight, rest fully. Sleep without calculating. Sleep without strategizing. Sleep without fear. Psalm 127:2 promises that God gives rest to his beloved. Rest is now part of your provision. This is not the peak. This is the doorway. What began as survival has ended in authority. What began as prayer has ended in confirmation. What began as waiting has ended in movement. Remain aligned. Remain grateful. Remain expectant. The verdict stands. The blessing advances. And your future has officially changed. Amen. Continue. Now, before this moment concludes, the record must be sealed. Because in every court, after a verdict is announced, there is a final procedural act. It is called confirmation. And confirmation removes all ambiguity. So listen carefully. Heaven is not wondering what to do with you next. Heaven has already scheduled it. Psalm 37:23 declares that the steps of the righteous are ordered. Ordered means prearranged, pre-approved, pre-funded. What you are stepping into is not fragile. It cannot be reversed. This is not probation. This is possession. The enemy is no longer permitted to negotiate terms. No extensions, no appeals, no delays. Revelation 12:10 confirms that the accuser has been cast down. Accusations no longer carry weight against you. From this moment forward, lack is illegal in your life, not inconvenient. Illegal. Philippians 4 to 19 is the statute. Supply is guaranteed, according to his riches in glory, not according to economic reports, not according to inflation, not according to your past. And hear this clearly. This blessing is not coming to test you. It is coming to position you. You are being positioned as a distributor, not a hoarder, a financier, not a consumer, a builder, not a beggar. Deuteronomy 8:18 establishes the jurisdiction power to get wealth for the purpose of covenant enforcement. That means your increase will have assignment attached to it. Doors will open that require discernment. Opportunities will appear that require restraint. Not every open door is yours to walk through, but the right ones will feel effortless. Do not explain your peace to people who watched you suffer. Silence is sometimes the loudest form of vindication. Psalm 23:5 already prepared the table. You do not need to invite the enemies. They will see it regardless. Now this is where participation matters. Heaven honors agreement. Amos 3:3 asks the legal question, can two walk together unless they agree? Agreement activates manifestation. So wherever you are, do not multitask this moment. If you can place your hand over your heart. This is not symbolic. This is intentional. And agree silently or aloud as this prayer is released. Father, Judge of all the earth, I acknowledge your verdict over my life. I receive the end of lack and the beginning of provision. By the authority of your word, I accept full restitution for money delayed, time stolen, and opportunities obstructed. I renounce fear, hesitation, and guilt. I step into stewardship with wisdom and humility. I declare that wealth will serve purpose, not pride. That increase will fund obedience, not distraction. I receive my settlement now. I take possession without apology. I walk forward without doubt. In Jesus' name, Amen. Now seal it. Type these words in the comments, not as engagement, but as confirmation I receive my settlement. That is your signature. That is your receipt. That is your acknowledgement of delivery. And if this message found you, do not disconnect from the remnant. Stay positioned among those who understand authority, timing, and obedience. Subscribe not for content, but for covering. Community protects harvest. One final instruction. Once increase manifests resistance, often attempts to reappear through confusion or distraction. Guard your mind. Guard your focus. Protect what has been released. There is another word prepared to help you secure what is arriving. Do not ignore it. The door is open. The court is adjourned. And your season of lack has officially ended. Remain steady. Remain faithful. Remain ready. It has already begun. Continue. And now hear this final confirmation, because heaven does not repeat itself without cause. What you are sensing right now, this calm, this certainty, this stillness, is not emotion. It is legal peace. Colossians 3:15 calls it the peace that rules. Rules means it presides. It governs. It sits on the bench and overrules anxiety before it can speak. You are not waiting for proof anymore. Proof is waiting for alignment. In the next 24 hours, watch for unusual speed. Emails answered faster than expected. Decisions resolved without resistance. Money finding you through channels you did not pursue. Isaiah 45:3 already authorized it. Hidden treasures and riches stored in secret places. Hidden does not mean withheld. Hidden means protected until the appointed moment. That moment is now. Do not announce what is happening too early. There is a grace in privacy during transition. Matthew 6:6 establishes the principle. What is rewarded openly is first handled discreetly. Let results speak when the time is right. If opposition attempts to resurface through memories of failure, remind yourself of this truth: statutes do not expire because of feelings. The verdict does not weaken because of emotion. Numbers 23:19 confirms it. God does not lie, and he does not reverse what he has spoken. Your responsibility now is alignment, not effort. Effort belonged to the old season. Alignment belongs to this one. Alignment sounds like obedience without debate. Alignment looks like peace without explanation. Alignment feels like clarity without striving. You may notice that some people begin to distance themselves. Do not chase them. Separation is not loss when jurisdiction changes. Abraham had to leave before increase could locate him. Genesis 12 still governs that pattern. And understand this blessing will not come screaming. It will come precise, quiet, exact. Like a deposit made overnight. Like a door unlocked without force. Like a weight lifted without warning. When it happens, do not rush to spiritualize it away. Receive it naturally. Heaven moves through natural channels when legality is established. That is why Deuteronomy 28 lists tangible outcomes: houses, fields, storehouses, not metaphors. You are allowed to enjoy stability. You are allowed to plan again. You are allowed to expect good outcomes. Jeremiah 29:11 is not suspended because of past hardship. Before you go, take one last breath and receive this covering. May wisdom guard your increase. May humility preserve your authority. May generosity multiply your resources. May peace anchor your decisions. And may every good thing assigned to you locate you quickly, accurately, and completely, without delay, without loss, without interference. This word is complete. This verdict is final. This season has shifted. Go forward. Possession has already begun.